Hey friends, Stephen Capes here. I'm right here in my little basement workshop for the first installment of SCBGs. I know what you're thinking. What in the world is SCBGs? SCBGs is Stevens Cigar Box Guitars. You know, figures a new little hobby to get into, get me off the phone, get me off the television, do something with my hands and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a woodshop craftsman by no means. I've just got a few basic tools, kind of a handyman type thing and stuff like that. So this is kind of new for me. So hopefully you guys will follow on the channel and watch what I do. I'll show you mistakes. We'll laugh together, do stupid stuff together. When I learn something, I'll share it with you. What got me into this thing was my son bought me this one for Father's Day, I believe. It's a diddly bow, just a little one-string guitar. It's kind of neat with frets on it and all. Only problem is, it's supposed to be, I believe, on a 25-inch scale. Well, from here to here is only about 24 and a half, maybe 24 and a quarter. So the thing needs to be sitting right along here to actually intonate. So instead of just adding a block here and extending out, moving the fret out in the bridge and making it intonate, and being done with it, not even fooling with it, I've just made a wall hanger. It was really a pretty box. Somebody did a good job on it. The neck's kind of cool. They didn't taper the back or round the back, but it's still kind of cool. But anyway, so instead of just doing the simple thing and fixing it, decided to start building my own. Well, this is the first one so far. Yeah, it's kind of the guinea pig and stuff like this. The fretboard was actually bought from another company. The neck is two pieces, actually a piece of poplar, and got a piece of oak here for the heel. Used a 1/2-inch round over bit to do it. Still a ton of glue on it. I haven't sanded or anything. Cut this down to 5/8. It'll have 3 tuners on it and stuff. This one's actually on a 25-inch scale itself, so bridge will set somewhere kind of right in here where that little mark's at. I'm going to use a Fender style bridge on this guy. It's set, like I said, it's set somewhere right in there. Kind of see that bridge. It's fully adjustable and stuff. You can adjust the intonation and stuff and all. So hopefully that'll be pretty cool. The pickups, I think it's the Pizzeo or Pizzio. I'm not sure exactly how you say it. The little pickup here, about the size of a nickel. I promise I'll be able to say it right, but the next time I think it's something like Pizzeo, which kind of cool. Sounds like you're talking about Italian food or something like that. Anyway, we'll drill a hole down in here with a 1-inch bit. This thing will be inset in that in hot glue. Then you put hot glue on top of it, a piece of paper, and close this lid, and the lid should set right against it. That way, when it vibrates, it'll vibrate again, between the lid and the bridge here, and the strings get a nice vibration to it. Of course, the sound hole's here. And I'm going to add a Fender type switch, 3-way switch, and found this in my parts box. It's an old weird humbucker with 3 mounting lugs instead of 2. Had no idea what it came out of, but I'm going to mount this guy right in here. So hopefully it'll be a nice little rocking machine, kind of fun and stuff, using a Fender 3-way switch. Nice fat CTS 250K pots, and going to use some little see that, some little cream colored chicken head knobs down here and stuff. And I'm still not exactly sure about the placement, still kind of making that up as I go along. But that's kind of the prototype, kind of the guinea pig. Once I get done with that, I like those boxes. This is actually just an empty box. I'm getting the whole parts, how it looks, but the center of it allows you to cut this thing out and make a cool looking sound hole in it. This was one that I've already started. This will be the second one that I'm going to build. See that thing here, how I kind of cut out the insert, you set that in it. And I'm going to build my inside of nice thick wood. This one will be done for a local shop that I'm going to do that one for. And the neck on it will most likely be this blank here. I've already cut it for the back angle, so it kind of tilts like this in the box, kind of like that, like a Gibson style. It'll be a 25-inch scale as well. The fretboard on it will actually be an oak fretboard. I'm going to cut the threads. It'll have medium size fret wire, a jumbo fret here that'll actually serve as the 0 fret. It'll be a 25-inch from there to the bridge on it. This one will get a more traditional style bridge over a Pizzio pickup, or Pizzio pickup, or how you say that. That'll be the bridge on this guy. And it'll be pretty basic, won't be any knobs or anything like that, just a straight input where you run into the amp, more of an acoustic style thing. The other one, I got a guy in Newnan, Georgia. Company, it's called Thick Ash Cigar. Don't say that too fast, sound like you're cussing at someone. But anyway, Tim given me a lot of great boxes, provides me a lot of them. He really liked this one a lot. This, he said that Cohiba Red Dot or something, a real pretty box, almost has a mahogany look to it. And the wood's really pretty, whatever it is. Well, this one is going to actually get another one of these ready-made fretboards with the black on it. Comes from MGB Guitars down in Florida. Has some really cool stuff. And it is probably going to get a neck blank out of this stuff here. I got some cedar that I cut out of an old end of an old bed or something. Ripped this up on a table saw like yesterday. It's got some really good character. This one's actually going to be used on one of mine, but I've got enough of this to do one for him as well. And finally, the fourth one that I'm going to build, like that's not enough already, right? Fourth one I'm going to do is another one of these Plasencia boxes, ever how you say that, I'm sure I'm butchering that. Same thing with that, it'll have two sound holes here, but it actually have a couple of springs attached with a hook or whatever on the side of the neck to have a reverb effect. And so it should sound really good, but it's actually only going to have, I think, 9 frets if I'm saying it right, but it's going to be fretted in the E minor pentatonic scale. So it will have the 3, the 5, the 7, 9, and 12, and there's a couple of them right there together. I forget which ones. I have to look at the diagram because I've never done it before. But it allows you to play every note in a pentatonic scale. Tune it in an open E. The rev will be an open G. It tune it in open E, and anywhere it sounds going to sound great because you can just put any combination together of the pentatonic scale. As long as you stay in the 3 or the 5 and go to the 7 like you would in any blues scale, sounds really great. And that one will also use a Fender type bridge like this. Actually going to use Telecaster pickups in it and a Pizzao in it and stuff. Should be a really cool little screamer of a guitar and stuff and all. And that's about it for what I'm working on right this second. Let me show you the workbench, show you some of the stuff we're working with and stuff. I don't have any weird exotic tools or anything like that. So let's get into that just a little bit and we'll talk about it. Okay. Here's the little nickel tour, so to speak, of my little shop area. This, of course, workbench is where most of the magic happens. Obviously, I have a vise on the table. It's just a little cheapie from Harbor Freight, but it does everything you need to do. Drill bits, drill, power strip, run the Dremel tool, stuff such as that, keep battery charged. Dial caliper, very invaluable in this stuff. Of course, different measuring tools. Want something good you can read. It's pretty easy to read. Files, that's just a normal mill file. That's an old horse hoof rasp. It takes a lot of material. Don't use it a lot, but when you do, that thing's pretty aggressive. This one is very invaluable. This is an old one, but the newer ones are fine as long as you find a decent one. But the round over, you can do some shaping with the back when you're going over the back of a neck. This guy probably gets used more than anything else on this shelf over here. Just a normal saw, bought that at the local cheap store or whatever, tool store, just have it. This is my paddle bed I use to drill out the necks where the piezo pickups go in. You hot glue them in. Just some various stuff there. Of course, the combination square. This thing's used a lot to make compound angles and stuff like that. Pull saw, very invaluable. Got this at the local Harbor Freight too. It's cool because it's a flush cut saw. It's very thin, so it'll sit right against your work and cut that way. But instead of pushing where you're getting off angles, it's a lot easier to pull and start your cut with it and stuff and all to get a better cut when you got to cut something really straight, especially when you're cutting in, notching for a neck and stuff with the bodies. It does a really good job with that. Fret saws. You obviously don't need 3 of them. I ended up with some of these, but these guys get used a lot too to start some cuts because it's a very thin piece of metal. Makes a very thin cut. Of course, you have to have a really thin cut for your frets when you put them in. There's some fret wire there. When you pound those things, we'll get into depth with that more later. Of course, screwdrivers, box parts, wood glue. I like this one, but doesn't really matter whatever your preference is. And that's really about on the bench. Okay, this on the table next to the bench, there's a lot of material over here. I buy these from the local big box home improvement store, and I buy the 4-foot where I can get 2 of them out of these to make my fretboards. These are poplar. I'm using poplar right now on several of them because the poplar looks good, and I cut these out on a bedpost from old cedar. Looks really pretty with this behind it and the poplar on top of it. Makes a pretty guitar stuff. Here's an oak one that I've already cut out for one of the projects on the shelf I'm working on for someone else. Bandsaw, just a little 9-inch bandsaw. It does most everything I need to do. Would like to have a 24 as a budget, gets better, maybe buy something a little bigger, but that one does great for now. A bench router. This thing's the great. It's an old steel table, so it doesn't have any aluminum grooves in it, but I can do this, and this hasn't even been routed yet. But when I start here, you can do all the work this way and get the back angle, well, not the back angle, but the contour and the round over stuff on it where it makes it come into play. Really invaluable tool, really cool. Glad I bought that. My not radial arm saw, that's a miter saw, just an old miter saw. Use that to cut most of the necks off and cut the heels on them. Really simple stuff. You can do this stuff by hand. It just makes it a little easier to do it this way. And man, you can buy a really nice, miter saw cheap at the Harbor Freight or something like that. Now, this table here, this little organizer here just has all kind of hooks and stuff in it, electrical parts, all kind of guitar parts and stuff, box knobs, tuners. I like this little organizer to make it easier to keep up with stuff. Not really necessary. You can throw it in the box, doesn't matter. Another box here, some screws and the little hinges that you use for the bridges and stuff like that. Those are pretty cool. All kind of stuff. All this available at CB Giddy and MGB, I think, guitars down in Florida. My Dremel tool, bench grinder, and bought a wire brush to go in it to help clean up tools, get all nasty and stuff and all. Just on a little shelf I can move around. Got a belt sander here. Don't use that a lot. I prefer manual sandpaper a little better. I like the feel of it better, but whatever you want to use. Okay, and this is kind of the junk shelf, future project shelf. There's a bunch of cleaner stuff here. Box here with a whole bunch of sandpaper and stuff in it, some miscellaneous stuff. Old bookends. I don't care about the bookends, but I thought the thin brass might be good to make some end pieces, some bridges, drill those out and cut them out. Might look kind of cool. Old stuff like old door hardware, that kind of junk. Blue gun sitting over here, just some miscellaneous junk. Got no reverb in our guitar, but I'm gonna use these springs to make a reverb effect in one of mine. It's kind of a project I've got going on. Got all these. Got some cool boxes. This one, this Deadwood Tobacco Company, was that one called Sweet Jane. That'll make a really pretty box. That one will be for sale. Something interesting, hit me up. Over here, the Chupacabra. Talked about before in the South, the Chupacabra, the legend of it, and all that stuff. I mean, hey, rednecks in every state, but Georgia, we perfected, and stories about the Chupacabra and snipe hunting and all that. That's kind of a cool thing, especially considering the way these cigar boxes really had a major upstart in the South, back in the 1800s, and all. It's kind of a neat little throwback kind of thing. This one will make a really cool acoustic box, real plain simple. Big box, should have a big sound to it. Should be pretty loud for what it is. Make a nice little campfire guitar. And I've got another one of these. Already doing one for someone else. This one will be available for sale. I can do that for someone. If someone's interested, let me know. These nice thick heavy wood, but it should sound really good. I'm doing two for myself, so hopefully that'll be really great. And I got this guy. This one will make a pretty one too. That one's definitely going to be for sale. And got some that are already spoken for up here that I'm working on. This one going to do a really cool acoustic thing. The neck will float. It'll only be touching the body on the inside. It won't touch the top of the bottom at all, except for the piezo pickup hits. And it'll have a screw in the bottom, be screwed and glued there. The top will be screwed down. It'll be super tight in the sound hole, and hopefully it'll have a really nice sound and won't vibrate and make a lot of noise. Look forward to doing that one. Not sure if I'm going to sell it or not. Maybe, maybe not. But we'll see on that. But that's really about it for now for what we're doing and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys will see this, enjoy the content, like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon where you see future videos. I'm already starting to film some of the stuff I'm working on, some of the others, the red one in particular, and the Cohiba box for my friend Tim. And those are the first two I'm going to do, and then I'm already starting on some stuff for some others too. But let me know something you're interested in. But if nothing else, maybe encourage you to get up and get out in the shop, make a little noise, make some sawdust, get a little man glitter on you. Weld something up in the shop, make some sparks fly, do something with your kids. Maybe encourage somebody else to do something. But either way, get off the phone, get out of the house, and enjoy yourself a little bit. Enjoy the little things, because this stuff's quite satisfying. That's why I'm doing it. Obviously, it's not to make money, but if I can make enough to fund some of the other projects, that's great, and keep it going. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you watched it this long, you're a glutton for punishment. You're my kind of people, and I appreciate that very much. But I'm out for now, and I will see you on the next video.